heck are you? How the heck are you? How the heck are you?
We're going to do a podcast.
So let's get a little deeper into your story, shall we? Who are you?
How
that becomes a sticky wicket. You know, what's your juice? Let's get back on track. You've got a lot of things going on. What is it that you're curious about? You know, what you're doing. Right? What?
Like, let's crumble up some philosophy for you.
Boom, 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 boom. It's been a whirlwind for you. What is it that supercharges you about this? Lots going on, lots coming up, or is that too many stuff? Did I ask too many questions?
No, not too many questions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Drop the Mic, the Chamber podcast. My name is Mo Beliveau, and I am the Executive Director of the Chamber of Greater Easthampton. And again, I say this is Drop the Mic. This is where I get to talk with chamber members, local thought leaders, entrepreneurs, business professionals, and I want to know who they are, what they do, and why they do it. We are here in Easthampton Media Studios, and I am eternally grateful to Easthampton Media, to Jeff Mastriani, Executive Director, Ryan Arnold, Production Coordinator, and Tim Riley, Operations Manager, because they are the ones who put all of this magic together and make us look really fabulous. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are here with today's guest for episode 17, Ed Hamel of Glendale Ridge Vineyards. I just love Ed and Mary. We met about 7 years ago when I first came to the chamber. I have a little story I'm going to share, Ed. In my quest to bring on new members, I would give my join the chamber, Easthampton Chamber spiel to Ed over and over. And whenever he saw me at public events, he would have this grin on his face and brace himself. He didn't run away, so I give him credit for that. He didn't run away, but finally, I did not relent, and Ed and Mary ultimately became chamber members. So I'm eternally grateful for that, and it has been a delightful little cat and mouse game that we had played for a little while. So let's get into it.
You know what, Mo?
What?
It's so hard to say no to you.
Well, it took you long. But here we are. Here we are. So it was a thrill. And how the heck are you, Ed?
Oh, we're doing good. Yeah.
You doing good?
Yeah. The vineyard's back open again, the winery. Yeah. We opened up about a month ago.
Nice.
Dealing with COVID is always an issue. So many businesses that have an indoor space and customers. So it's been tricky. It's been hard to try to manage and figure things out. And be safe for not only our customers, but our staff.
Right. And you and Mary are so people-focused and people-oriented. I'm sure it was a difficult time, for you guys to get up and running even too. So let's back up a little bit. I want to know who you are, Ed Hamel. Give us a little background.
Who I am?
Yeah, who are you?
Well, I'm from Holyoke.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Did you notice the accent, Holyoke?
I did not notice that.
Yeah. And Mary as well. We were high school sweethearts.
Aww.
We got married in 1972. Mm-hmm. This is going to be our 50th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
Congratulations. Coming up this summer.
Nice.
We've been hard workers our entire life. I was a contractor. Mary was a dental hygienist, mostly stay-at-home mom for a lot of time. And we were fortunate enough to be able to buy a retired dairy farm in 1992. I always knew that I wanted to grow something. Actually, I thought what I was going to grow was similar to what you're growing now, Mo.
Vegetables.
You've got your
Squash.
greenhouse thing going on. But in the end, we decided on grapes. So we planted a small vineyard at first, 110 vines, that we were going to make wine just for ourselves.
Right.
And a lot of people might have a business plan.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily have a business plan. I tell people that this vineyard winery thing, it's taking us someplace.
Oh.
And we
it's
follow
a journey.
it. We follow it, exactly.
Nice.
So we went from 150 vines to 5 acres now.
Wow.
I think it's around 3,700 vines.
Wow.
And we were able to use a lot of the old barns for our winery space, our customer space. We built an addition in 2017 that's more modern and nice, very nice actually. We like it a lot.
So beautiful.
And so, then now we're here. We the last couple of years, like so many other businesses, especially the restaurant scene, and we're sort of similar in the way it all operates as restaurants. In that people come in. In order to drink wine, you have to take your mask off or whatever.
Right.
So, but I think we're over the hump now and headed into a better place, and we're feeling good about it.
Yeah, I hear that. So tell us where you are. Where is the vineyard?
We're in Southampton.
Right.
It's interesting because the Hamptons, Easthampton, Northampton, Southampton, Westhampton, they almost come together in the four corners. And we're in that four corners.
Right.
So we're only a half mile from Easthampton.
Right.
We're 1 mile from Northampton, and probably 1 mile from Westhampton.
Right. There you go. And so you have a tasting room.
We do.
It's beautiful, brand new tasting room.
Yeah. When we built the addition in 2017, the old tasting room was in an 1860s barn that we absolutely love. And as part of the addition, our architect, John Kuhn, originally he wanted to use that space for customer space. And when he first drew the plans up, we're like, oh, that's really nice. But then as Mary and I thought about it, we're like, you know what? We don't want to give up that tasting bar. It's too special to us.
Right.
So we actually have two tasting bars, two small tasting bars, one in the old space and one in the new space.
Right. And it's absolutely beautiful. So let's talk about a little bit more specifics. And can you share with me, in what area do you consider within the vineyard world an expert, or the business world? It doesn't have to necessarily be the vineyard world, but as a business person in this entrepreneurial journey that you're on.
Well, being a small business, I like to talk about how we have a farm.
Yeah.
We have a winemaking operation.
Yeah.
And we have an event space. So it's really almost like three different businesses. So we have to jockey all of that together. We have professional people, full-time people, staff that make the wine for us.
How many employees do you have?
We have one full-time employee.
Nice.
We have a part-time consultant for the winemaking, and we also have several part-time people that work various amounts of hours, and things are starting to pick up now. So Mary runs the indoor space. She takes care of that. She does all the bookings. She does a lot of tastings. My role is more towards the outdoor farming aspect of things.
Yeah.
Taking care of the vines, and it's a process. It's a year-round process. We're actually just finishing up our pruning for the year today.
So do you have we have, as vegetable farmers, we have a lull, right? In January, February, we have a lull. Do you have a lull in your vineyard?
The vines go dormant. The vines go dormant in October, November once the leaves fall off after hard frost. So then after they go dormant, we like to wait maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks or so before we start pruning. And then we're pruning towards the end of December usually, and it goes on all winter long because we have to pick and choose our days. There's a lot of days you can't work outside, but we're outside a lot of days when it's 10 degrees. If it's 10 degrees and sunny, we're fine outside. So we're pruning through the winter. The vines, as I said, we're actually finishing pruning today.
Wow.
And the next step is going to be the vines are going to start pushing buds out in about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're starting to swell a little bit now.
Yeah. When
we've been pruning, they're actually what I call bleeding, where when you make a cut, there's a lot of water coming out of the vine now that has to seal up. So once the buds start to burst, then they're going to start to grow, and as they start to grow, we'll go through every single vine, every single one of the 3,700 vines, and we'll check to see that we're not overproducing. So that's a key with the grapes, is to make sure that we have the right amount of balance between the size of the vine and the number of grapes that it might produce.
So thinning.
So when we pruned, we left extra places in case of potential damage, either through frost or freezing, or wind.
Yeah.
I've seen wind do damage. They're
Right.
very tender when they first start to grow. So
Really?
yeah, they've
I think
been,
of vines as being so sturdy.
now when they start to grow, especially when they get about maybe 5-6 inches high, it doesn't take much for them to break. So that's their genetics. That's what they are. And then through the summer, we're gonna tend to them. We'll go through each individual vine. probably 4 or 5 times, doing various things like more thinning, straightening, alignment, some leaf pulling, and ultimately harvest, which is October.
The glorious time.
Yeah, it's a circle.
Yes.
Everything goes in a circle. It
Right.
repeats itself every year.
Right. So, Ed, what about your farming expertise, your business expertise that you wish people knew about you that probably don't?
The vineyard thing is a lot behind the scenes. Oftentimes customers will come, they'll be doing tastings, and we'll be working in the vines. They won't even know that we exist.
Right.
Yeah. But it is a cool scene too, because the vines are right next to a nice outdoor tasting area that we have, so you can get the feel for what it's like to be at a vineyard winery. There's a lot of stuff too that goes on with the bottling. We're in there at various times of the year in the winery. Alex and Juan need help, and so we're filling in along with some other people that are willing to help us out as well. So, for instance, when we bottle, usually we'll put up about 3,200 bottles in one day.
Oh wow!
And it's a little bit of a process, the preparation, the setup with the bottles, the setup of all the equipment necessary to do it. We do it all ourselves. And
I love that though.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
how hands-on and how it's artisanal and so family. Really.
Yeah. One of the things too, just to divert a little bit. I've been the primary person for doing tours. So I'll take people into the winery. We'll go downstairs and we'll walk around. We'll look at the tanks. Sometimes we taste some wine. And, we haven't done that in a couple of years. And, I miss it.
Right.
I really miss it. And I don't think we're quite ready to get started back up with that again.
Right.
But pretty soon, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what makes the whole Glendale Ridge experience what it is, and you get to be downstairs with the tanks and the barrels and all that. So cool. What's the best part of your role at the vineyard?
Oh, well, it's like I said before, it's really diversified, and that's the way I've always been in my whole life. I like doing different things. When I was a contractor, builder, carpenter, I liked the fact that I would be framing for a week. I might be roofing for a week.
Right.
I might be using a shovel for a few days, grading, pouring some concrete. I used to love all the diversification of it, and being that we are so small, it's the same way at the winery. We have to do a lot of different chores.
Right.
Yesterday, I was on the tractor with the forks, picking up the prunings through the rows.
Right.
For a few hours.
Right.
So you just have to do what you have to do to get it done. We're gonna be bottling within 2 weeks our 2021 whites and rosés. I think we've got 7, maybe 8 varieties. I can't remember now.
Oh wow!
A Sauvignon Blanc that we've never had before. Yeah,
that's one of my faves. Is Sauvignon.
It's tasting delicious. Yeah, that's the other great thing, of course, about owning a winery.
Right.
Is that we get to taste things and test things, and
right.
So it's a real treat that way.
Well, I have to say too, I'm a member of the wine club, and it's such a joy and a pleasure to have the opportunity to taste something within our selection for each quarter. We get 3 of the wines that you're presenting, and there's wines that I probably would not have tried had I not explored the wine club. And the Riesling, it's not my cup of tea. I don't care for Riesling, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love Glendale Ridge's Riesling.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, yeah, and then the wine club, what we really work hard on is giving you guys first opportunities at new releases.
Love it.
So with the wine club pickup that was 2 weeks ago, you got a Cabernet Franc.
Yep.
It was an estate Cabernet Franc from 2017.
Yep.
So we've been sitting on that wine for 4.5 years.
Nice.
It's been in storage.
See?
Yeah, it's just been in storage.
How cool.
Yeah, and we've known that it's a great wine. But and we wanted to age it. We wanted to age it. We wanted to let it mature more and more. And I think it's even going to get better over the next 5 to 7 years still.
Really?
But there was not a lot of it. Every wine club member got one bottle.
Ooh.
And then there was an opportunity to buy one bottle additionally. But
you don't have any stashed away?
no, we did. we did put 10 cases in the library.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're going to hold it for future. And again, that's one of the things we haven't figured out. We know that we want a library.
See, I would be terrible at that.
And
Knowing that it's down to
but
the
we
library.
we don't know how.
Where's my library card?
We've been holding our wines for 5 years now, and there's a bunch of cases of a lot of different wines. There might be 100 cases now in the library. We don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm absolutely sure you will. And I don't want to gloss over either. The Vineyard has won some awards, have they not?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So
yeah.
what awards have you won?
Yeah, well, especially our Petit Naturels. It's a natural sparkling wine. Well, that's the Riesling that you were talking about, and we just released that to the wine club this spring, and now it's for sale to customers. It's a huge hit. It's absolutely outstanding and delicious with natural bubbles.
Yeah.
And then I lost my train of thought here.
What I'm looking for the awards that you've won.
Oh yeah, gold medals with a couple of the Petit Naturels. Silver medals with our Wilder Red. It's a Bordeaux style blend. Silver medals with our Traminet. We don't have any Traminet right now. We're sold out of it, but the new one is going to be bottled in a couple of weeks. We'll have that for sale in about a month.
Nice.
And probably a couple of other silver medals. There were no competitions in 2020. So everything was canceled. So
Darn it.
and wine is always a year late anyway from when it's made. So we just made the 20s.
Oh.
No, we just made the 21s.
Right.
And so they'll go into a 22 competition. Some of them will.
Right.
We're getting excited to enter wines this year into both the Finger Lakes International Wine Competition and the Atlantic Seaboard Wine Competition down in Virginia.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
And we've got some wines that we think will do pretty well.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear. What's the best business advice you've ever gotten, Ed?
Oh, boy. I think, honestly, probably by example more than anything else. Watching my father work hard, my mother work hard, and then having really fond memories from my childhood. My mother grew up on a farm in central Vermont, and my grandfather, he was a hard worker. He was kind of like an old Yankee type guy that he had a few pigs, a few cows. He cut some hay. He grew some corn. He had a vegetable garden. He did a lot of different things, and that was his livelihood with some part-time jobs maybe. But and he raised a bunch of kids. I think he had 8 kids. So
wow.
So that's how he did it. Old style Yankee farmer. So
right.
he was a good guy.
It's in your blood. It's in my blood too. My mom was born in Suffield on her grandmother's dairy farm. So that's how she grew up, and it's in my. I can't stop. Let's go digging in the dirt, Ed.
So I think you have to approach business from a smart economic standpoint. Hopefully you can figure that out, and not everybody figures it out. Sometimes even the best intentions don't work out right.
Right.
So I think you need a little bit of luck that way.
Yep.
And so the economic side of it is really important, but then you have to realize that to be self-employed, to be an entrepreneur is you got to do it. You got to work hard.
Right. Yeah. There's no way of getting around it.
Yep.
No way of getting around it. What's the worst business advice you've ever gotten?
Oh, maybe to start the winery again?
Nah, come on.
No.
No.
No. Don't do it. You're not good enough.
Right.
There are people out there that say, they won't tell you per se, but you'll hear it secondhand.
Or you'll see it in their body language.
Yeah, it's like, you're not going to be able to do that. But
yep.
You just have to trust yourself and know when you're ready to do something.
Right.
And it's just getting out there, taking the bull by the horns,
yep.
and saying, you know what? I don't care what you say. I'm doing it.
Right.
Sometimes that even helps me.
I know.
If somebody says to me, you won't do it.
I know. I know.
It's like a motivator.
It is. I get the same thing. I'm like, oh, yeah? Wait a minute. We'll show you. What's your biggest business challenge?
It's probably I'm thinking two things right off the top of my head. So from the business standpoint, it's getting people into the winery, and having more and more people find out about us. We still have so many new customers that come to say, "Oh, we didn't know you were here," and so that's a challenge. We also have this great outdoor space that's really important to our business. So the challenge there, of course, is weather.
Yep.
It's all about good weather.
Yeah.
So we do have a legal indoor capacity of 89 people. So we utilize that space as much as we can with tables and chairs and pouring stations, etc. We also bring people downstairs. We've done events downstairs in the actual barrel room.
Cool.
Which is really elegant because it's a nice stone wall. There's 21 wood barrels. And sometimes we'll taste out of the barrels. It's just fun. It's a great experience. The other challenge is growing the grapes. Everyone knows. I think most everyone knows that operating a farm is difficult. You're dealing with constant battles with weather, constant battles with help. You may have the weather forecast looks really good for Wednesday, and you've planned some pruning, and then all of a sudden it's not so nice anymore. So you got to scramble and you got to do other things. So we do try to save indoor work, and we're pretty good about it.
Well, not to mention a random hailstorm.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, we haven't had anything like that. But yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. So what trend in 2020? With the pandemic, has accelerated, do you think, in your business?
People, last summer, we reopened the indoor space in June. And June through August it was open, and hardly anybody was going inside. Everybody was staying outside. We had very, very few customers that were willing to go indoors. Then when the Delta variant hit in August, I think it was the end of August, we actually closed the indoor space down, and but I think my memory's a little vague now. I think we reopened it a little bit in November again, and then the Omicron variant hit, and we shut it down again. Right. So now that that's over with, we've had several good days of business since we reopened in the middle of March, and people now they seem more willing to go inside, and they're willing to be unmasked. So, and we've had discussions with our employees and about what to do as far as staff goes. Yep. And at this point, our staff actually wants to wear a mask.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
So that's what we're doing. Our staff is wearing masks.
Sure.
But customers inside. Somebody might walk in with a mask, but as soon as they're inside, they take it off.
Right.
So
right. When they
hopefully we're there, and I think we live in an area where so many of our customers now, they're boosted.
Yep.
I think they're feeling safer. They're feeling more protected around the people that they're with.
Right.
So things are picking up.
Good. What's the biggest insight relative to your business that you've gained during COVID?
Oh, during COVID.
Yeah.
We've
or in general, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Well, during COVID, I mean, I think we were really creative.
Yeah.
We had to be creative about how to get our wine to people, not only on site but to take home.
Yeah.
One of the things that we did a year ago is we actually created an outdoor parking station for people to come and park and stay with their vehicle and drink wine. I set it up very similar to what an outdoor movie theater might have been like.
Right.
All the space, we had 88 spaces.
Nice.
All the spaces were numbered, and there was 27 feet between vehicles back when things were really unknown about COVID and the transmission and what was going on. So we played it by the rules.
Nice.
And that was actually quite successful.
Nice.
People would come, they'd park, they'd bring chairs. They might sit in the back of their pickup truck. They set up outside their cars.
Fun.
They'd bring picnics. They'd walk over to the barn, and we would sell bottles only. We were not doing tastings.
Right.
It's just like you buy a bottle, you take it back to your vehicle, you stay with it, and you drink it.
Nice.
And we're fortunate to have a nice farm with 80 acres, that a lot of fields and things that we're able to be a little bit creative,
Right.
and utilize that space in different ways. So that was just getting creative in general, setting up our outdoor pouring stations, and making people feel safe and comfortable when they come to us.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. So, are you a reader?
Not a lot.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
I won't ask you then what book you're reading now.
I'll tell you my favorite book.
Tell me.
It's a book called Endurance, about Ernest Shackleton.
Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
I just love the book. I think I've read it 5 times.
Nice.
But it's interesting that it's just in the news again now.
Right.
Because they just discovered the ship
Right.
at the bottom of the ocean,
Yep.
down in the Antarctic.
Right.
And it's interesting because, having read the book and having seen a lot of the pictures, I was thinking they're going to find a heap of junk.
Yeah, no.
Because it got crushed. What a great story, though. It's just an amazing story.
I know.
And Ernest Shackleton is looked upon as
Isn't
one
it,
of the world's greatest ever leaders.
Isn't it amazing?
Well, yeah.
Do you know that hat that I wear in the wintertime with the pom-poms on it?
No.
Okay, well, I can't believe it because it's my trademark. But anyway, I'll have to show it to you. That hat I knitted myself. And it was a design. I designed it myself. And it was a design based upon, it connects into your story. Do you know who Tom Curran is?
No.
So Tom Curran was with Shackleton. He was one of the crew. And he is a Irish national hero. So Michael and I went to go visit, traveled with a friend to visit his family, and we stayed with his family in Ireland. And to say thank you, I knitted him. I said, we'd like to knit you something. What would you like? He goes,
Oh, wow.
I would like this hat. Well, it was Tom Curran's hat. And that was the design. So I came up with that and figured out. So I call it, the design of my hat, the Shackleton, because nobody knows.
Interesting.
Nobody knows who Tom Curran is, but unless you're in Ireland. But yeah, so that's the connection.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So that's my story.
Yep.
One last question. You have a soundtrack for your life, Ed. Music soundtrack, with many songs, I'm sure, on there. But one song absolutely has to be on there. What song would that be?
Oh, are you asking me what my favorite song ever is?
It can be, but if you absolutely have to have it on your soundtrack of your life, like if you'd be.
I think for me, music is more about the sound than it is what the words are.
Yep.
Because sometimes it's really hard to understand the words.
Yep.
So Fleetwood Mac has always been my favorite band.
Nice.
And so if I'm cooking in the kitchen tonight, maybe.
Ooh.
I have an Amazon Music box.
Yep.
And I say Amazon, play Sarah.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
And yeah, it's great. But lately, I recently discovered the Chromatics.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, not many people do. They're sort of like a little bit of new wave, modern, but they actually just broke up, and I didn't realize they probably existed 10 years ago.
Oh.
My son-in-law had a CD, and I really like them a lot too. So oftentimes, especially if I'm working alone in a winery somehow, doing some labeling or managing some wine bottles, I'll play the Chromatics now.
I'm gonna have to check them out now.
Yeah.
Get a deeper insight into Ed Hamel.
Yeah.
So where can people find you, Ed? Where can they find you?
Oh, I'm all over the place.
Website.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you would
Facebook?
find me.
Well, find the vineyard. So where do they find? If they
We're
want more.
we're in Southampton at 155 Glendale Road.
Yep.
We do have a website,
I know. It's
GlendaleRidgeVineyard.com.
Yep.
And we have a Facebook page as well. We're
Yep.
on Instagram.
Yep.
I'm not up to date with like TikTok at all either,
Yeah,
but I
me
know
either.
it's like a cool thing and people are following it. So I'm like Maureen works for us a bunch. She's probably half time, and she's young. She's 21 or 22 years old.
So you let her.
I'm like, Maureen, why aren't we on TikTok?
Right. Oh, yeah, TikTok is a little bit more active.
Got to do some videos, I think.
You got to be a little bit more active. Well, Ed Hamel, of Glendale Ridge Vineyards. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning here on Drop the Mic. It was absolutely delightful. It's always delightful to see you, my friend.
Same here, Mo.
Yeah. And if you'd like to have more information on the Easthampton Chamber, you can find us at easthamptonchamber.org. If you'd like to have more information on Easthampton Media, they are at easthamptonmedia.org. And we thank them once again. You can find all of the episodes for Drop the Mic on YouTube, either on the Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel or the Easthampton Media YouTube channel, or anywhere you can listen or view and watch wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Thanks again, everybody. Peace out.